Hello, welcome to the video. Today I will be explaining about parrot cichlids. These fish have been around me since I was 9 years old. I am 15 now, so that's 6 years. And I've done a lot of mistakes, so my parrotfish, most of them die. So I'm making this video so your parrot cichlids don't die. Parrot cichlids tolerate a wide range of water parameters ranging from 6.5 to 7.5 pH. They are tropical fish, so you need a temperature of around 24 to 27 degrees Celsius. Stability is key here. They tolerate the wide range of parameters, but if the pH is swinging, that will stress the fish. I'll go put up a care sheet right up here. You can screenshot it and take that into consideration. I am not a professional, and I just made this classification up system by myself, but over time I have recognized there's many types of parrot cichlids, that some are different than the others, and I think it's important to mention that. First off, we have the classic parrot cichlid. They are quite hardy. They are usually the best type of parrot cichlids because they don't have much health issues compared to the other variants on this list. I highly suggest you get this one. This is the best parrot cichlid, and it's the best one. But they do get big though. Mine over here. Wait, where is it? She is being shy now, but she is like around 18 centimeters, I estimate. Oh look, it's hers. Say hi to the camera. Yeah, so they grow big basically. A 55-gallon minimum is required for them, but I suggest 75 gallons for long-term. The second type of parrot cichlid, you have one over here. It's the small one over here. I often call these guys the genetically fucked up ones, the incest ones, because these hybrid fish, there are ethics drawn on the line, it's a bit confusing. Some people don't like them. They usually have the fucked up mouths where it's kind of like a kissy shape. So they can't really eat well, and most of them end up being malnutritioned and cannot grow further. Therefore, they're just permanently small. Most of them get up to 12 to 15 centimeters max. And the tank size, I think a 30 gallon would work, but I honestly don't know. I don't really have good experience with this. And it's unstable because most of the times their organs are compressed, which means they have a harder time swimming, doing monofish things, and are more prone to infections. I would not recommend this fish if you are a beginner. Third type of parrot cichlid is called a King Kong parrot cichlid. I do not own this fish, but they're just parrot cichlids. Except they're probably more territorial and they get large. I mean large. I've seen some get up to 35, 40 centimeters. That's like Oscar size. You know what Oscar fish? Those things get big. I recommend like 125 gallons minimum for these, but I never kept them, so I can't really give any comments on it. Fourth type, and I really don't recommend anyone buy this, beginner, pro, whatever, is the ones where the fish, they clip the tails from a young age, so it ends up having a lot of swimming problems. They do it so the fish has a unique heart shape to it. I'll put up a picture over here. I really don't recommend these don't live long. They're usually small too, and they usually die fast. In a tank setup, you would usually need a somewhat large tank that can survive their bioload. You also need a bunch of hardscape, plants, substrate. I know I don't have substrate, but if you're starting out, get substrate. I really recommend it. These fish love to dig. Preferably, if you're keeping multiple, you should have hiding spots for them, as they can be aggressive sometimes and peck, mock, just attack other fish. This fish is a hybridized fish that comes from Thailand in the 70s. Due to it being a hybrid fish, they suffer from an unpredictable behavior. Their unpredictable behavior may be different across individuals. Some individuals may be mellow and peaceful, and some individuals can be very aggressive. I've personally kept these fish, and all their personalities were different. My fish over here, they might not even be the same as yours. They might act differently. Mine's is relatively chill, but yours might be an asshole. It might just be an asshole. And it's gonna be a problem for all the tank mates you have. So here are my personal thoughts on these fish, because that's like the basic stuff. But in my experience of keeping them, these are my personal thoughts. In my opinion, if you're a beginner, you shouldn't get them. Or if you do, get a large tank, get a classic one. Don't get the small ones because they usually come small, and a lot of them have stunted growths because of their mouths, which causes early nutritional defects, which is unfortunate, but it does happen often. I will not recommend this fish to beginners, honestly. These fish, they're also potentially aggressive because their parents, their hybrid fish, is a Midas cichlid, or a red devil cichlid, which is one of the most aggressive fish in the hobby. So I do not recommend you get this. So they can be quite aggressive sometimes. No matter what the tank is, no matter how different your individual is, they all benefit from good water quality, clean water, and hardscape and natural decor, as those give the line of sight breaks and allows them to hide and retreat. As they are hybrid fish, their mouths are often deformed. I've mentioned this many times already before in this video. I think I repeated that like, I don't know, like 5-10 times already. But be careful when you're feeding them, because if you have other tank mates, they might get outcompeted. They might steal the food from it, and it will lead to long-term nutritional defects. And your fish will starve and it will die. And I don't think we all want that. I don't think anyone wants that. I was a beginner a few years back. The biggest mistake I did was I kept thinking it needed friends. Well, it can benefit from friends. If you're a beginner and you're just starting out, I don't recommend you buy friends immediately. What I recommend for a beginner, get a properly sized tank. In my experience, I used to think these fish were aggressive, but turns out no, they were not aggressive. I just have an overcrowded tank, which makes them more aggressive because they cannot hide, they cannot retreat, they can only fight. A big tank first, so aggression is spread out evenly and fairly. And also, you also put the decor, line of sight breaks, whatever. And what I recommend for a beginner is don't get a friend immediately in the same day. I recommend you get around maybe one individual first, and then you try to know it first, you try to see if it's aggressive or not. And if it's aggressive or not, then you get a friend depending on your observation. For their tank mates, they can have a lot of tank mates. Well, this tank is too small, but if you have a bigger one, 125 gallon, you can keep Oscar fish, silver dollar, severum, geophagous species, electric blue acara, multiple types of fleckles. I've seen some people do it with African cichlids, but I'm not sure, but you can try it out if you want. Their diet mostly consists of bloodworms. Honestly, you can feed them anything. You can feed them pellets, you can feed them meat, fish meat, sashimi, you can feed them normal pellets, you can feed shrimp, live foods, worms. And honestly, if it's big enough, feeder guppies. This one, the big one over here, it can eat a feeder guppy. But most of them have the deformed mouth, so I don't think it can. And feeder guppy can carry parasites, so I don't recommend. My tip for beginner is if you want to keep parrot cichlid, do more research. My video is not enough because, like I said, these fish, they're unstable. Their aggression may be different across individual. So it might be different. Yours might not be like mine. So my advice, I cannot help you 100%. So it's best you watch the other video that can help you. And even if you never keep the fish, I recommend you watch the beginner care guide for Oscar, Jack Gamby, whatever other fish. Because they're not the same as parrot, but they have the same body language because they are cichlids. So when you see the videos, you understand what the cichlid body language is. So when there's aggression or fighting happening in your tank, you as a fish keeper can understand and you can intervene before one of your fish die. In my personal experience, I will talk about my two individual. This might help you, but when you buy from the store, I already say this many times already before. But if you buy from the store, the fish might be different because they're hybrid. Like I say, unstable behavior. Sometimes they are aggressive, sometimes they are not. But most of the times, they're either peaceful to semi-aggressive. Like, if it's like a bar, this is not aggressive and this is very aggressive. Most of the time, the lowest is at here and the highest is like at here. Like, they're not very aggressive most times. They're on the mellower side of things. Now my individual here, there's two of them. The small one here is named Zok, and the big one here is named CZ. CZ, like the letter C and the letter Z. This one, I have kept for 6 years. Now, how did it live for so long? It's because it's a natural type. Like I said in the first one, the natural type is usually much hardier. Honestly, back then, I am not a good fish keeper. I abuse my fish, I beat up my fish. I keep it in a small 30 gallon, and I force it to fight to death with other parrot cichlids. Nah, I was joking. But seriously, long time ago, I keep this in 30 gallon, it's bad. That's why I upgrade my aquarium to this big aquarium. This one over here, this one's very hardy. It survived 6 years in a small tank, and now I move it to the big tank as it like. It is still aggressive sometimes, and as you can see, it will chase my finger. It thinks I'm trying to fight it, it will chase my finger. Or you see, it's trying to bite my finger off, but there's the glass separating it. And the small guy is Zok. I have this guy for, I think, around 2 years. I forgot, honestly. It is a small one, and I have not seen any signs of growth. So I think when I first buy him, his growth is already stunted. Like I said, this is the genetically fucked up one. I don't recommend this for beginners. It's a bit shy sometimes, but what's cool is that sometimes I see them feeding. They are actually, the small one does not get outcompeted. The small one's still brave enough to fight the big fish. The small one is cocky. He can fight the big fish even though he's small. And he does not win, but at least he got the food. They are very personable fish. You can hand feed them a lot of the time, and I do not have footage. My fish don't really do this, but I will put up footage over here. Sometimes they can actually form bonds with their owner and they can pet them like a dog. My fish don't do that to me, they hate me. The big one tries to bite my finger off. But yeah, they can do that. And you can hand feed them. Like I said, they are very personable fish. Can be hand fed. Come on, don't be shy. Don't be shy, bro. Yeah, see? Hand feeding. I am feeding it with my hand. Come on, bro. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. See? It's eating from my hand, bro.